this is the thing. Okay. Christ has returned. Okay. No matter if you have been informed or not, Christ is in front of us. Okay. Little do you know, right? Christ is basically investigating. Yeah. Just making sure to see if so-called human beings have their consciousness in order to be saved. That sounds more like a test of consciousness in order to see you yourself, in order to set Christ for what he is. Right? Now, this is the thing that I would say. When it comes towards the Christ, when he returned, a lot of people have committed a lot of sins towards Christ. And none of these sins have been forgiven. The reason why that is because when it comes towards the Christ in this world, human beings have a practice where I can do something to you, I don't have to make things great or come to you and make things right. I can just get on my knees, right? Pray to a false god and give him some money. Everything great. So I just wanted to document, right? Then Christ went to certain jobs, opportunities. Right? Human beings as a whole knew it was Christ's appointment. So Christ, right, has went to certain, jobs, went to certain opportunities, just to see how the people are going to make around with him. Okay, understand that a lot of y'all are human beings, so you don't have the knowledge or the connection to that. Understand? He wasn't selected. Okay, so don't try to tell me anything. You can go back in humanality and get into it as well. This broadcasting is specifically for myself. You understand? Thank you. Moving along, or whatever the case may be. Right? So Christ has went to certain things that, human beings have so-called done. And, the jobs as well. He also went to the justice system too. He did the whole system. And we can get into the black history. So, what happened with Christ is that at a point in time, right? Christ went through something with the justice system. Well, Christ basically needed a place to stay, right? The humans upon the earth got upset that he found a place to actually stay, right? And they looked at it as, oh, this is illegal. You can't do this. So what happens? Throw him in jail. It's okay. This is what human beings do. Okay? I just want to let human beings know. Y'all have failed your test. There's no repayment. I'm just going to keep going. Anyways, right? So then I'm still watching this, and I'm like, okay, so they throw him in jail because he's trying to figure out where to stay. He's in a hard place, so the best thing to do is to lock him up. That's great, no problem. I know the reason why they treat Christ the way they treat him. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into the data real quick. So Christ goes inside his So Christ says to them, you wouldn't understand who I'm talking to. The reason why that is because me and you is made differently. The white man got upset because the white man was taught that we're the same. No. The white man got upset when they said the authors lied on Christ and said Christ was a white man. The company didn't pay him. So human beings have the tolerance to, if Christ is speaking to himself, you have to tell us who you're speaking to. And if you don't, we'll throw you out of our corporations. Thank you. Then human beings don't understand themselves. And a man got emotionally upset because you were speaking to yourself. That had nothing to do with him. He invited himself to your conversation. And being that you acted outside of the program that designed you to be, now you want to fire you. Awesome. Great. My investigation is coming out just the way I need to. While y'all sit in these courtrooms right here, and y'all pay attention to everything that's going on, you understand why I did this, right? Pay attention. Right? This world consists of a new world, right? Over Christ's world. Christ is supposed to be, Christ ain't did nothing wrong to me. Christ is supposed to be, when he comes back, this is what people do. Human beings want to control you. And if we can't control you, we're going to murder you. And if we can't murder you, we're going to humiliate you. And if we can't humiliate you, we're going to try our best interest to try to make it seem like you're something that you're not. So, as a whole, while human beings don't understand themselves, we're not fighting against Christ. What you got to understand is Christ already won the war. He's telling you. So, as I do my investigation of what the case may be, you human beings that's on the planet, keep on working against yourselves. I love exactly what y'all do. I do. I really do. They think I'm supposed to be there. But humans don't have control of my anger. Yeah. Keep on working for the human beings. Be as bad as you can be. They stole from, we got the proof. They stole from Christ. You know, lied on him. Tried to humiliate him. Lied on his brother. At least we telling them, right? On the news outlets, if something happened, you know it was us. Well, show these human beings like y'all is not more tougher than God. God is not more tougher than y'all created as a whole. Yeah, they feel like, oh yeah, we can control him. He don't know what's going on in this world. We can use his powers. This, that, and the third. He'll front the whole world for us. This is what human beings is afraid of. And they're not going to tell you this, but I'll tell you. What happened is this: Christ came back to this world. He came back to this world as a child too. Okay? He got childhood memories, all that shit. Okay? What you have to understand is that humans knew that was him. Okay? What they did was this: in order to block him from himself, right? That way he don't become himself. That he only stay as man. That's what he did. You got a left side, that's your mind. You got a right side, that's your brain. Your brain is the one that knows everything about yourself. Now, what happens is information and data that's on the right side of the brain will transfer to the left side of the mind. Now, when the left side of the mind, right, when the brain is sharing information, what's happening is that the right side of the brain is sharing information and data with the left side of the brain. I mean, left side of the mind. When that happens, what happens is that the individual is naturally going to become their self. That's what's going to happen. So, can I ask you a question? If you decalcify someone's pineal gland, and the left side of the mind and the right side of the brain doesn't have connection, right? Are they going to become themselves? No. So, can I ask you a further question? If the left side of the mind is blocked to the right side of the brain, right? And no information and data can be shared from self, that's on the right hand side, in order to teach the left hand side, right? What happens? Oh, you'll have your left mind, right? That is very identical to AI as a whole. A lot of people don't understand that. What happens is with the left side of the mind, it's like a brand new baby. It don't know nothing. It don't have no fight back, no nothing. So what you can do is you can install a system in the left side of the mind. The left side of the mind will obey. These are all left-minded people. No questioning, no nothing, just following. The reason why they follow is because the left side of the mind is a follower towards the right side of the brain. The left mind is the divine one. You understand? The right brain is the masculine one that is teaching the divine one. You may not understand that with yourself just yet. Okay. So what happened is that you have 90% of human beings that are not even themselves based on a practice of pineal blocking. When you do blockage within yourself, it's just as much as American people doing blockage with themselves. That's what you're doing. That's what they did to Christ. Okay. They tried to turn and convert Christ's consciousness into man. If you ask me, that is literally like stealing someone's technology that they already own. That is literally hacking the mind, infiltrating it, re-engineering it. And you tell me human beings haven't done this, but Christ already went through it. So with that being said, let me ask you a question. Is Christ supposed to give you mercy after you already know it's him, right? After you already know we got to put his ass to sleep, you know it's him. So it can't be no, we didn't know. We didn't know. We didn't know. And then when Christ break out of hell, right? Because usually what they always say about Christ, he got the key to heaven and hell. Well, he had to break out of it in order to get the key. You got to fight somebody. And the key is the liberation of the mind from humans. Humans are Satan. Thank you. Now, once he liberates himself, human beings as a whole in a systematic world, right? Imagine you having a system and you have a mind that empowers your system. And then that mind that's empowering your system breaks out of your control. It goes dark. You can't find it. Then when you actually locate it, you understand it's not in your will anymore, right? And then so this is a systematic world like a TV screen. I know that.
And then so what they try to do as human beings is this. This is how you know that someone know who you are. Okay. Every day you all work together in order to create a system of loss. And you try to put it in front of me in order to hack the technology of the mind, in order to bend it to your will, to make me think that I'm losing within a systematic world. That's not true. You got to work overtime. Hurry up. A system cannot design a loss, put it in front of you, and you agree that you lost. Yeah, you got no self control. Only you create and generate your reality. Only you can create and generate your so called losses. How is it a loss? If you're informed by the so called loss, right? And then being that you're informed, guess what? You can correct it. What that way you don't lose anymore. Mm. One thing that I understand that I do, and I understand it very well. I'm an introvert, outrovert. I'm both. But I also understand with myself that I was in a culinary art class. Human beings are underneath a blockage spell just as much as the human beings are underneath a blockage spell in Iran. It's the same thing. Just different looking people. They're the same. Anyways, so what happens is simply is this is that individuals in the world are fighting to control Christ again. That's what they're fighting for. They're not fighting to be with Christ. They're more fighting to, I want to control it. You understand? So, being that they've been fighting for over about 6 years, right? Seem as though they're not going to gain any ground within the consciousness to control it. The thing is that I understand is that I don't really care about the physical world that man has created or woman has created. I don't care about the creations of man and women. I only came here to get to know what you do. Right. That way I can delete what you do. That's it. There is no war. There's no fighting. That's just what the humans conscious believe into. That's just it. This shit is quite funny if you ask me, though. It is. It's funny how the human's conscious is like a robot. I'm literally looking at, you know how you have pattern recognition and you can see something repeatedly play over and over, and you're like, let me see, stand back from this shit. Hmm. Okay. So this shit play like this like every other day. Yeah. Yeah, this is fake. You know how they say you having a bad day? Nah, it ain't a bad day. You telling me this shit, pay attention to your so-called bad days. You telling me you done had 3 bad days back to back? You know what you need to do? I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. That way you can understand something. Watch. In this world, we deal with connections when it comes to human beings as a whole, right? I'm gonna show you something. One time I was inside of a culinary art class, right? Human beings as a whole think they're God based on the controlment that they think they can control God. Let me show you. One time inside a culinary art class pretty much teaches you, about food, the safety of food. The reason why I was there is because I want to own my own food truck. Understand that the individuals that I'm in the classroom with, there's only two individuals that want to own their self. There's about 18 of us that are in the classroom, right? Only two of us want to own ourselves. Everybody else just want the documentation in order to work in someone else's kitchen. Understand the tech. When that is in front of you, understand that the humans, they're going to work against you some type of way because they look at it as you want to own yourself. Human beings are like crabs consciously. A human being would never say to you, wow, you really want to own your own food truck? That's really amazing. Keep on going. A human being is going to, in his conscious, is looking at it like, why you don't want to be like me? You think you're better than me? That's the envious spirit of humans. They don't have souls, though. They definitely don't. Their energy, that can be, there's a lot of things you can do with their energy. A lot. But more importantly, right, in that exchange that I start to understand is that most people don't want to own themselves. The human's conscious does not want to own itself. I understand that. It wants to remain in slavery. Now, this is what I would say. Being that you want to work for other people, right? Can't let me say this. Your conscious want to do that. But do you push that narrative on everybody else's conscious? Yeah, that's called controlment. See, what you got to understand is that the human's conscious is like a marksman. Human conscious is not like an option. No, it's more of this is what we're doing. You have to do the same. Controlments. So you're being forced within the consciousness of being human. That's not real. Okay. So what human does is this. Come here, let me show you what they do. Remember the scene in the Matrix, right? Remember when Morpheus sitting inside the office with the agents, and they got these different devices on his body, and they're trying to hack his body, hack his mind. Let me show you something. Human beings as a whole do the same thing. They're systematic beings within a systematic world. Let me show you, baby. Let me show you. Human beings have a connection with the moon. The moon can send information and data towards the human's conscious. Okay. That human conscious is open towards the moon. So whatever message you want to put in there, make it do, it's going to do. Okay. The human conscious don't know this stuff. Anyways, right? So what happens is simply is this. Let's just say we're in a culinary art class. I want to own myself, right? As a human being, just being honest, your conscious is gonna be used to fight against my conscious that way I own myself. Watch, pay attention. You have a teacher inside the classroom, right? And there's levels to teaching. Pay attention to your teachers. If you have a teacher that cannot control its emotions, that's not the teacher for you. If you have a teacher where they're teaching you something outside of the classroom and they're trying to recalibrate the narrative and recalibrate your perspectives in life about things, that's not the right teacher you want to be around. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a teacher. Let me show you. We inside of a culinary art class. Culinary art class has everything to do with food. Now, what happens is the teacher starts to speak about marijuana. My question was this. Can I ask you a question? Is we speaking about marijuana because we're gonna be putting marijuana inside our food? He like, no. So I'm like, why are we talking about marijuana if this has nothing to do with culinary art class? Mm. When you ask questions consciously, you understand what's really going on in front of you. If you just looking and staring, you don't know what's going on because you're not questioning in order to know, thinking. Okay. So what happens is the guy says to me, he's like, we're just talking about this stuff because, marijuana, it doesn't smell great if someone bring it into the building. And I'm like, okay, pay attention, watch. I was like, can I ask you a question? He was like, yeah. I was like, so you're saying that marijuana, right, is not a great smell. I was like, can I ask you a question? He was like, yeah. I was like, uh, don't marijuana come from somewhere that's natural? He was like, yes. So I was like, the scent is natural. I was like, do you understand that the technology of the minds are meant to be unnatural? So if you are unnatural, guess what's going to happen? Everything that you look at as natural, you're going to look at it as like it's disgusting. It's nasty. It doesn't be around. That's the minds that I'm around right now. Pay attention to the setup so you can understand. This minute I said, right, consciously, right, it is designed for us to be unnatural to ourselves. The whole room got upset. Everybody got upset. I caught y'all. Human beings don't even understand what I'm doing to them. That's not what I'm doing. I'm asking you a question. Do you want to be natural or unnatural? You all got upset. So that means that humans are fighting to be unnatural. That's all I needed to know, baby. That's all. You think I came here to argue with you? I need to see if the technology of your body and the technology of your word is going to align with the information and data of the conscious of Earth. I need to know if your body is going to identify with the same information and data as the sun. Understand? In order to be verified. Got it? A lot of y'all lost consciously. Stay lost, baby. Have a nice one. Anyways, right? So, what happens is when I speak to them, I tell them pretty much you all are trying to change the narratives and the perspectives of someone's consciousness. Right. And I'm not going to allow you to do that. So I'm going to be honest with y'all. The energy is off in this room. The message is completely off. This is only what we get off at, what, 3 o'clock? It's 2 o'clock right now. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Usually, whenever you're within a conscious spell of human beings where they're trying to change your perspective and change the technology of your mind, it's best that you walk away. Thank you. Make your prime example. That way they can say, he can see exactly what we're doing. Right. Walk away now. Walk away from the human beings. So the human beings have a bad practice with themselves is that they can't control a whole higher consciousness. This is what they did to themselves. This shit is funny. They decided to say, you know what? Pay attention to shit so you can understand that human beings have to be destroyed as a whole. Watch. I didn't argue with you as humans as being unnatural. I didn't argue with you. I simply stated that, hey, this conversation is not for me. I'm going to walk away. The human being got upset that I walked away. This is why y'all got to be destroyed. For sure. You got upset because he walked away. You didn't get upset because he walked away. You got upset because he walked away from your controlment spell. You got upset because the controlment spell did not get uploaded in the mind in order for you to control the mind. Thank you. Caught you again. Have so much fun with y'all. My dark brothers, come on down, baby. I'm just getting evidence. Y'all are doing something else and don't even know what I'm doing. And I'm so funny, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm investigating this whole shit. There's nothing that you can do to stop me. Okay? Now, thank you for the evidence or whatever the case may be. No, I thank y'all kindly for treating me the way y'all treat me. It's all good. They had told me that they was here to help me, aren't they? That's the script that they're supposed to be doing, aren't they? Ah, they're a failure towards themselves while they're thinking they fight me. You gave me everything I want. Y'all have a nice day. They're giving me this word on a silver platter, baby. They don't even know. Anyways, keep on moving wherever the case may be. So, get kicked out of the classroom, right? Not for bringing marijuana in the classroom, not for even smelling like it. I ain't even violate no rules because I will not allow you to be in my consciousness, control my perspectives, control the angles of my mind. This is why I get kicked out of class. Not for breaking the rules, but because I don't want to be controlled by your rules. It's okay. That's what human beings do with themselves. Right? That's the right way to do. Someone walks away from you controlling them and you get upset. Human beings conscious as a whole is weak. Because the reason why I say it's weak is because someone can literally walk away from your conscious from being controlled. That's not a power. That's weak. That's very weak. I thought human being superpowers was really like, so the consciousness has a choice to walk away from your conscious spell. Wow, your conscious spell is fucking weak. I know Sindel would be laughing at humans as a whole. Yeah, Sindel off of Mortal Kombat, she would be laughing at people. She'd be like, what they doing? They trying to do the same thing you do, girl. You know what I do? Yes, you control people's minds and shit. Okay. So they're trying to do what I'm doing. Yeah, but it's at the weakest rate because literally it's like this. Stand in front of each other. All right, communicate. I'm aware that you're trying to control me. Walk away. That's a weak ass controlment spell. Human beings and the tactics that they do, when you understand how weak it is, you know how powerful you are. Shit is brazy tech out here. Now, let me get into another situation. That way, all this is on camera. That way, people can say what happened was justified. Okay. Now, that way you can understand that this is a real game. It's not fake. Okay. Come here. Now, I had another contract that I was about to complete, right? About to get me some money, right? Pay attention to the setup so you can understand what type of world you are in, okay? Now, what happened was this. I get a contract, I accept the contract. The only thing I had to do is go to a couple of stores, change out some gift cards, and get paid. I'm talking about a decent sized money too. Uh-huh. A little bit more money than what you getting from that 8-hour job. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't know that I'm trying to put you on. Anyways, right? So look, give me 1 second. So look, right? What ended up happening is I ended up accepting a contract. I go to a place called, it's a gas station called Fast Track. I go inside of there, speak to the woman. I mean, how you doing, lady? Whatever the case may be, my name is Y. I'm here with Income to basically change out your gift cards. Do you have any back stock or anything like that? And I was like, just to make sure that you know I'm legit, they got my letter from my company. You can read over that. She was like, I know who you are. She said, I've seen y'all many a times. I know who you are. She was like, yes, we have some back stock. Let me go get that for you. So she got me the back stock, went over there, started stacking up the cards. Now, when I start to speak to this other individuals, right? Women, I want to say to y'all in today's world, I love y'all a lot, okay? I love y'all. Y'all giving me everything I want. I love y'all so much. Anyways, right? Even if you mistreat me or you treat me right, I love both of y'all. Just want to let y'all know that, okay? I love y'all. I'm gonna tell you why I love you, okay? I'm gonna tell you. You think I'm strange, right? I'm gonna tell you why. Cause you looking at like I'm trying to fuck you up and you still love me. Like, yes, I love what you're doing. I'm not mad about what you're doing. Come on, I'm gonna show you why. Come here. So then after that, what ended up happening was I'm talking to another individual over the phone, right? The reason why I'm talking to this individual over the phone is because they're the one that when I send pictures, I send the pictures towards them. That way they know I got all the actions done at this, this gift card stand. You know what I mean? Because if you just pull up there and you just tell them like, yeah, everything done, they're like, how we know everything done if you ain't show us no proof? There you go. See what I'm saying? So what ended up happening was I take a couple of pictures of the gift card stand, whatever the case may be. I send it to the individual. What I had to realize with myself is this: the individual I'm speaking to is a Smith. Her name is April Smith. Okay, I'm gonna say that one more time so people can catch it. The individual that I was speaking to over the phone, her name is April Smith. Smith, right? Okay. I have a so-called robotic mother. Her name is Michelle Smith. Why would a Smith keep following you? Let's see if Mrs. Smith can control the one's mind through a phone. Let's see if the one is going to be aware within this test to be controlled by money in order to bend his mind to the will of Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith, let's see if you can pass your test, Miss Smith. What are you fighting for? For the control of his mind? Can I ask you a question, Mrs. Smith? If you're so much smarter than him, why are you fighting for control, Vince? Don't you have better superpowers than him? You're the woman. Aren't you better than him? So if you are better than him, why are you trying to fight for the controlment of his mind? If he's less than you, I never seen someone fight for what's less than. Everybody fight for what's more than. Understand that? So if he's less than you, because he's a so-called man, right, why are you fighting over here to get his consciousness? That's what I'm trying to understand. Because everything that you're saying about him look like they're total opposites. You're fighting to control him. The lies that infiltrate your mind ain't working over here. Understand that? The attack. Now come over here. Let me show you this right here. Come here. Now what happens is this, right? I'm taking care of everything. She sent me an email. I'm following all the instructions of the email. Know what I'm talking about? I'm following all the instructions of the email. Know what I'm talking about? Yo. So I get to doing everything. I get to this last part right here. The last part is that I need to count 30 different gift cards, right? And I need to see the inventory count on all 30 of these gift cards. So what I did was this. In order to show that I actually done it, I took a picture of the gift card and then in words, I would send you the inventory count. The reason why I'm taking a picture of the gift card is because humans don't know how to use their memory system. They will say, you didn't do this, and come to realize you actually did. So, what I use is the memory system of this, and I use the memory system of the phone. Thank you. That way, if you say I didn't do something, the proof is sent to your phone and sent to my phone too. You understand? Now, what happens is Mrs. Smith says this: don't send me 30 different pictures. Mrs. Smith is operating outside of herself. So let me show you. Mrs. Smith makes a payment towards her phone. I make a payment towards my phone. Mrs. Smith doesn't pay for my phone bill. So Mrs. Smith cannot tell me how to operate with my phone. Mrs. Smith is stuck in a control spell in order to control me through a phone. Watch how I make her upset. Watch how I use an emotionless device in order to pull her emotions through this emotionless device. Watch. Now, Mrs. Smith makes a request. Mrs. Smith, in her requestment, is making an argument within her requestment. Anytime she makes an argument, do not believe her argument. Do not interact with her argument. Do you know why? Everything in reality, right, is going the right way. Everything that's in her mind is going the wrong way. So, with that being said, whatever she's trying to forecast from out of her mind into reality is going to clash. Watch. So she makes a request. Yes, don't send me 30 different pictures or whatever the case may be. I decline her request. I don't have to listen to you. You are a Smith. Disobey her. I don't have to do that. The reason why I'm sending you 30 different pictures that you can delete on your side, setups. It ain't never a problem. You can delete the pictures on your side. The reason why I'm sending them is that way I had the proof that I actually completed. Being honest with you, I never seen an individual act like this. Right. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it sound like honestly like you could be scamming this individual. If they don't take pictures and proof, you can easily say as a human being, because human beings are liars to themselves, you didn't complete it. And then guess what happened? Everything is actually complete, and then you rob me of my money. That's what human beings do. Human beings don't play fair, and human beings would not pay you if you don't have the proof in order to show. Why do you think when you clock in, there's proof? Thank you. I'm doing the same thing. I'm not doing anything different. I'm just making sure that I get paid because human beings will steal from you. It's humans in here right now that has stole from someone. You know that. You have done it. And you didn't feel bad about doing it. It's okay. The individual is just not going to sit there and be robbed, though. Okay. So what ended up happening in that situation was simply as this: I did not obey the commandment that she wanted to give me. Okay. And so what ended up happening was she got upset, and I understood with myself. Oh, you're not doing that wrong, bro. You taking pictures of the gift cards and giving an inventory count. You're actually doing everything in the email. In the email, it does not instruct you to say. It does not instruct and say that you cannot send 30 pictures. It does not say that. It came down to proof. Mrs. Smith looked like she was trying to bust a scam. Furthermore, come here. That way I can destroy your controlment through the phone. Now put her emotions through the phone. Watch. Now, give me another commandment. She's going to tell me. I told her through the text message, I said, right now, you're being controlling and you're trying to control me through the phone. Being that I'm not allowing you to control me, you're going to get upset and your emotions are going to override your mind. I already know the setups as computers. Thank you. She was like, I'm not trying to control you. This is a lie. Watch. If she's not trying to control me, she'll go back into herself. Watch this. I'm not trying to control you. I'm just telling you that I just don't want 30 different pictures. I told her in return, if you don't want 30 different pictures, you can hit your delete button. It's simple. You wait for all 30 pictures to load up. You go on your iPhone, because I can see that you got an iPhone. You go on your iPhone, you go to the pictures, you select the pictures, you hit all. When you hit all, it's going to select all the pictures. You hit the delete button. It deleted everything on your end. That's what you have to do on your end. You can't tell me what to do on my end. You can't tell me what to do. I know as a woman, right? You're showing me that you're less than me because you're trying to control what's higher than you. Thank you. That's what you're doing in real time. I know you can't accept that, but I can accept that truth for myself. You actually show me every day that I'm more than you. Why do you do that? You don't even have to do that, but why do you do that? Every day that you try to control me is to show me every day that I'm more than you. How am I less than you if you want to control me? Have a nice day, Mrs. Smith. Mr. Smith is a little bit more challengeable, right? Anyways, you get a little bit more upgrades out of him. Anyways, I like fighting. I like competition, but at least if it's going to lead to something higher in consciousness, she is a weaker consciousness, so this is not really fun for me. Anyways, right. You should go get your brother. He's a lot more funner, just being honest. In battle. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, right. So what ended up happening in this situation was I did not allow her to control me. So I told her in return, I'm not going to do that. So she got upset. Yay. I pull her emotions out of her. What she didn't understand is that the characteristics that are being saved in the mind is that I'm becoming more of myself. I'm not becoming upset. I'm not coming aware. I'm not allowing control. But being that didn't allow her control, she got upset, which means that I can use an emotionless device in order to tap into her emotions. Thank you. That's what a human being is, a robot. I just used a machine, disobeyed your command, and you got upset. This is an emotionless device. You are a robot, baby. You're not a soul like me. Because I would never use an emotionless device to control you, for one, because I know that you're better than me. Okay? Two, I would never allow someone to use an emotionless device to hack my emotional abilities, because the exchange of what you was trying to exchange, which is controlment of the mind, he declined that. He was smart enough to use the phone to pull out your emotional abilities that are disabilities. That's not ability. If your ability is to be emotionally attached to emotionless devices, your emotional system is not real and not true. This is why when you cry in front of me, I just look at you, because I know that your emotional system is tied to emotionless devices. So whenever you cry or any type of emotions, I really look at it like it can't be real. Have a nice day. I'll walk away. Have a nice one. So, furthermore, right, what she did was this to herself. I love when you do this. I love when you fight, baby. I love you so much. Come here. Now, what she did to herself is that there was some money that was on the table that was owed for me. Usually, whenever you break up with a woman or you don't bend to the will of her controlment, she will steal from you. That's what I wanted you to do, baby. Yeah. You think you're fighting me. Pay attention to the information and data of your mind. The technology of your eye, technology of your mind is connected. Little do you know, your eye and mind shares information and data amongst each other. In a lower dimension of consciousness, as a woman, Mrs. Smith, you are looking and seeing. That's what you were taught and programmed. Not from your dimension of consciousness. Just been watching. I understand that the technology of the eye has a functionality setting, which means that the eye is functionable. In order to know if your eye is functionable, you need to know the functionable setting. Human beings have been taught and programmed that they look and see. Look and see doesn't describe the functionality of your eyes. Pay attention to the setup. When you use the word look and see, you can find the word within a what? Dictionary. The dictionary is nothing more than an indoctrinary of words and spells. How do you know that that's actually true? How do you know? Let me show you. The both of us are going inside of a dictionary. I'm going to go back to the conversation with the lady in just a minute. I haven't forgot. Give me a second. The both of us are going inside of a dictionary. The both of us will look at a word. The both of us will spell the word. And then the both of our minds are supposed to agree, because we're stuck in humanality, right? I understand. When it comes to a simple word called church, right? You have to spell the word out, don't you? If you spell the word out, right? Do you get to reveal the spell that is within the word? Like, as a human, can you reveal spells, even though you're spelling them? Hmm. Where is this building that all the great people say they go to? It's called CHURCH. All the people go there all the time. CHURCH. Name of it is called church, right? Okay. Now, this is the thing about church. Okay. This is how you know you lost in dimensions. You can understand that everyone is pretty much like a fallen angel upon this land. And it's a fallen consciousness and dimension. Understand? Watch. You're going to a church as a human. I'm not going to a church. CH stands for channel. The U stands for you. The R stands for what you are doing. And then CH again. Channel. You are channeling. That's what you're doing inside the church. Now, am I supposed to take the humanality conscious, right, of not decoding spells in order to know spells? Because if you don't know how to do that, you're stuck in spells, setups. Remember, y'all are programmed to hate Christ, okay? So you got to fight for the church, okay? That's the energy that came within your vessel around the baptism. The energy, in order to possess these vessels, come through the water. Can I ask you a question? You ever been through a baptism? You have? I understand. Why is it that the technology of your body is sitting outside of the water? Why is the water sitting on the outside of you? If you don't know the answer to that question, then how you know what's happening? Get in there and be ignorant to yourself. Remember, I love everything that you do. Don't matter if it's good, bad, Satan worship, wherever the fuck it is. I just get to know. You do it to yourself. I'm not trying to save you. Okay? Anyways, the body's 90% of water. Right. Just because the technology of the eye can only view things within the third dimension doesn't mean that other dimensions are not playing around it. Thank you. So, if I was a demon or a deity, what I would simply do is that the technology of your body is 90% of water. I will put water on the outside of you because I understand the technology of your pores is receiving the information and data of this outer water in order for it to be inside your water. Easy tech in order to hack someone's tech, isn't it? Tech. Now, this is the ignorancy program you have all been downloaded with. You stay in there with the demon. The demon that's already within you is just speaking through you. That's who I'm talking to. How you doing all right in there? You got you a free hijack, didn't you, from the church station, didn't you? Which is the channel station, didn't you? I understand. Right after the body drop, they send the body right back to the same channel station that it originally came from. You don't think that that deity comes out of that body and then go right back inside that energy vortex that's underneath that church? Data points. You stay in the third dimensional realm right there, even though we all know that, yeah, it's many dimensions that's playing in this bitch. Just because you can't see it don't mean it's playing. You know how you have a computer screen and things is playing in the background? Yeah, that's how this dimension is. Look at, you know how you got many screens that's playing. You're like, I'm not even using the screen, but it's still playing. That's what's right here. You can say it's not. Let me show you how you close your mind off to the dimensions. Pay attention. When your pineal gland, we're gonna get back to Miss April in just a minute. You think I forgot, haven't you? No. Now, what happens is this. You want to know how to block all these people from dimensions? Simple fucking setups. Can I ask you a question? Do the technology of this eye, which is your left eye, does it have access to higher dimensions? Setups. I'm gonna get your bread up. In order to activate the third eye, the technology of the left eye, right eye, the technology of the left mind, right brain, had to be in connection in order to bring in the third eye. Fucking setups. They got to be in connection. Pineal gland got to be decalcified in order for information and data from the right brain be installed in left mind. Simple setups. When they in connection, third eye right here, straight visions. How do you think I can see everything now? When you disconnect it from right brain, you know what happens? You get to view things in a lower dimension. Oh yeah, this just a house and shit. Yeah. Oh, this a church. Yes. Yes. You know where that's heading, right? The left mind is like a baby. It don't matter how big the body get. The left mind follow things. It does not have a system to know what the truth is and what the lie is. It don't have that. The right brain is the teacher to the left mind in order to say, hold up, what's this right here? Blood, what you doing? What are you doing? The church thing. No, no. Why? Because CH stands for channel. U stands for you. The R stands for what you are doing, and then CH again. Channel. You are channeling. Can I ask you something? As a left mind, what the fuck are you channeling to? Oh, walk away. Yeah, walk away. Walk away. I'm good on that. Yeah, I'm not doing none of that stuff. Got it. All right. So, with that being said, or whatever the case may be, the mental case that you're talking about, shit, I just came here to destroy all of you. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for doing what I exactly need you to do. This is a higher conscious, right? That higher conscious is speaking things outside of the third dimensional conscious. And the lower conscious doesn't have a PhD, doesn't have probably a high school diploma, right? And is literally trying to throw. You see that down there? You see that right there, right? All right. So this is the reason why I deleted the human's conscious as a whole. You understand that? Let them know why I did it. You understand? All right. Human beings, get back to your daily programming, which is working. Sell out your new generations of children. Let me show you some mental illness shit. Watch this. Human beings, can I ask y'all a question? Can I ask y'all a question? Did y'all ever sell out your children? It's fucking setups. You know the kids about to activate, beat the fuck out y'all. It's about to be funny as fuck. Hmm? Hmm? So, right, human beings didn't do anything wrong towards the children. They did everything right for the children. They gave the children perfect lives. They didn't steal nothing from them. It speaks about this in the Bible all the time. You gotta get yourself prepared, human beings. Adult programs. Can I ask you a question? There was some kids inside this movie. The movie was called COVID-19. I was watching it through a screen. As I was watching it through the screen, I was looking at the kids, and I was like, they look like they healthy. Like, mm, they look like they healthy. Like, yes. Okay. You sure? Like, yes. They look like they healthy. Okay. I want to show you something. Okay. Like, okay. Is this something bad? I just want you to watch something that we get a better perspective. Okay. So it was these kids, and they have natural abilities, and they have like superpowers and stuff. And the human beings, they know about it because let me show you. Watch. When you go to human beings and you say to them, is superpowers real? They're going to say no. But the technology of their minds lie to themselves. Let me show you. Is Jesus Christ a mortal man? He turned water into wine. He can have people come back from the dead back to life. That can't be a mortal man. So you actually believe in superpowers. It's just that you only believe that this image have it. That's called discrimination. Thank you. Anyways, let's go back inside the children's world. So what happens to these kids is that they have supernatural abilities. And being that they have supernatural abilities, they could take over the whole world. That's what they was designed to do. They're not doing nothing wrong. That's what they designed to do. To take over the world.
And so what happened was the human beings, they was aware and they started panicking. And the movie is called COVID-19. And it's called also trying to slow the process of Christ coming through the children. Yeah. And so what they did was they had gave them all a needle. And the needle consists of information and data, like a shot. Right. And so what happened is they installed the information and data inside the children, right, to keep them underneath their controlment. Because the information and data that's inside the needle is more identical to another like character, like a deity. If I inform the technology of your body and your mind, then your body will do. Remember, everybody's not acting like themselves. In order to make people not act like themselves, you have to install information and data to the mind from the veins. The body has to hold it. When the body holds it, guess what happens? The body acts. No one's acting like themselves. Nobody is. Nobody is. Everybody has been injected with a past self. COVID-19 is to inject past selves within you in order for you to act like your past self, in order to convert everybody into their past selves. Let me show you. One day I was speaking towards my grandmother. Supposedly this is my grandmother. Supposedly I'm supposed to be her grandson. This happened around 2020. What ended up happening is I need to visit her to make sure that her well-being is okay. When I went to go visit her, right, we were sitting in the living room. And when we were sitting in the living room, for some reason, she turned her head and she was just sitting there just looking at me. And I knew she was looking at me. I just didn't want to look in her direction. But I understood in that moment she's being controlled, because that's not how my grandmother moved. She would never just sit there and just look at me and not say nothing. Thank you. And we in the same room. When someone has hacked the technology of your mind and body, guess what? They don't know who they're in front of. But this is how I knew that she was hacked. Because on a simple fact, my grandmother never operated in a mindset to control me. She never did. She'd be like, baby, you got your own decisions. That's what she would say. But this time, this grandmother was different. And I can tell. This is not my grandmother. It's not. Because she said to me, she said, did you get your shots? And I was like, what shots is you talking about? She was like, the COVID-19 shot. She said, if you don't get it, then you're going to get me sick. That's not true. Because there's no sickness in my body. In order to get you sick, I have to have sickness in my body in order to transfer within the air. And then when it gets transferred in the air, the information and data get transferred to your nostrils because you're breathing in sickness. I's not doing that in front of you. The individual understands that the child is himself, and you want to convert the child from out of their cells into the system of this false grandmother. So I'm gonna show you something that I knew it wasn't her. She got angry. I never seen my grandmother get angry. I never seen that before. She got angry because I wouldn't do what she told me to do. That's not my grandmother. I remember who my grandmother is. She don't operate in controlment. She'll always tell you got your own decisions, baby. I'm going to tell you, but you know, you make your own decision. I'm still love you for who you are. You know that, right? She didn't say none of that. That's what she always would say. She didn't say any of that. So when she got upset, I just basically walked out of the house. And then she called me probably like a month later. And she was like, what happened? This, that, and the third. She was like, I don't even understand what happened. She said, all I know is that I looked out the window and you was leaving. And I was like, yeah, she being controlled. That's not my grandmother. Like, I can't tell her what I know either, because it's gonna freak her out. Yeah, I'm all right. Let me go recreate a whole new family again. Oh my God, you damn right. That's what's going on in real time. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So that way people actually can understand that children, we understand what's going on. Yeah. This world will be inherited by the son, and there will be many children that's going to be on this earth. I would say that. Okay? I would definitely say that. with that being said, I can say that humanality as a whole, you guys are losing as a whole because there's many of children that have not give y'all access towards their mind. The children that are suffering, or I'm not going to say you are suffering because you are not. Let me correct myself. You're not suffering. They're trying to hack your mind and give you so-called bad days every day. But I want you to know something. That is not true. It is not true that yourself will make a life for you to have bad days every day when you're fighting to become something better. Don't get me wrong. Yourself is going to throw challenges to you. See how strong you're going to be. But I want to show you something. If the challenge is to control you, always understand yourself is there with you to see if you're going to allow them to control you. When you rebel, you get more. Do not hold on to the emotions that the system wants to give you. Do not hold on to the situation that the system wants to give you. Only hold on to rebelling against the system. It's one of the best feelings I ever felt. I like doing it. It makes my mind tingle. You do. You ever had your mind to tingle? My shit tingle every time. Obey us. Disobey. Yeah. Like, I told you, you cannot make him obey. He's proud to disobey. He don't care. Okay? So, if you're disobeying the system and you're obeying yourself, you're doing right. That's what you're supposed to do. You keep on fighting, you do whatever you want to do, and you'll get ahead in life more than these people. Yes, they're going to try to make it seem like you're losing, but you're not losing until you accept the loss in your mind. Do you understand that? You are winning. The reason why you're winning is because you're disobeying the system and you're not becoming more of the system. Yes. That's the best part. And then the system gets mad. I'm upset with you. I'm so upset. This is how you know the system is weak. You're controlling it due to its emotional system. Think, the minute you disobey, it becomes upset. You are way better than the system. Thank you. System was weak as a whole. That's why I laugh at human beings that lost to the system. This shit got emotions. I'm done. This is funny, if you ask me. Shit is really funny. Just make sure that other individuals are not trying to hack the technology of your mind. Please make sure you do that. And I want to say this to the children before I depart, right? If you feel uncertain, right now, where you feel as though you need to return back to religious systems. The only reason why you're returning back to the system is to figure out what's inside the system. When you go through that system, the only reason why you're going through it is because you're uncertain. When you go through that system again, you will find clarity that this is not the system for me. The youth, shout out to the youth, right? For the youth that remain strong amongst themselves, right? There's something in store for you. This will be told again. This is not the first time this will be told. But the ones that hold supernatural abilities, they will be the ones that inherit the earth. Okay? So get yourselves right. Keep on going. Because your superpowers is what's going to save you. Okay? You will activate. When you activate, you'll be in a whole nother world. But just remember why you were sent here, though. You ever see me on the battlefield destroying things and you still confused? I would tell you, get the fuck out my way. Okay? Because I will fuck over you too if you try to save human beings with your superpowers. Okay? I'm more identical towards Magneto in this time frame. At one point in time, I was like Professor Xavier, save human beings. But I understand that human beings want Professor Xavier dead too. In the new X-Men, you would see that the human beings, they had did something to Professor Xavier. And then he transferred his consciousness into another body. And then he came back to Earth, and then the people were sitting there looking like they was crazy. Y'all okay? Anyways, I gotta go fly. See y'all later.